Sir, good afternoon to all. On behalf of the Department of Commerce and Management, Bhakta Kavi Narsi Mehta University, and you all are heartily welcome to this university. And from now onwards, you will be a part of this family, and you all have to raise the names of this university like others do. Okay, the Department of Commerce and Management has organized Adept Talk series. Today, I warmly welcome today's eminent expert, Professor and Dr. N. Udaya Bhaskar. Today, I warmly welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Chetan Trivedi sirs, and I also welcome to our faculty members, research scholars, and our PG students also. So, I also warmly welcome today's series a deep talk on the eminent expert, Professor Dr. N. Udaya Bhaskar sir. So we are excited to announce the upcoming EDIC talk organized by the Department of Commerce and Management, Bhakta Kavi Narsi Mehta University, Junagadh, Gujarat State. So this event aims to provide a platform for engaging discussion on contemporary issues and trends in field of the commerce and management. The ADIP talk will features different types of guest speakers and various sectors, including industry leaders, academic experts, and successful entrepreneurs also. Our goals with this event is to foster a dynamic learning environment where students, faculty, and professionals can exchange ideas, gain valuable knowledge, and explore new perspective. ADIPTOK is designed to not only enhance academic learning but also to inspire and motivate attending by showcasing real world application and success stories. So kindly join with us. It's a journey of knowledge. Let's share the knowledge and build new India. So about Professor and Dr. N. Uday Bhaskar, head of the department and chairman of Board of Studies, Department of Management Studies, Adi Kavi Naniya University, Rajamundry, Andhra Pradesh. So Professor Bhaskar is currently the head and chairman of the Department of Commerce, and his doctoral dissertation was in the area of retail service quality. He completed MPhil and MBA in marketing management. He has 3 years of industrial and 23 years of the academic experience. He has published 48 papers, articles in national and international journals and conference also. He is visited USA and Malaysia to present his research findings. His current areas of the research interest include service quality, customer satisfaction, customer loyalty, and retailing also. He organized 5 national workshops and national seminar and one international seminar also. So he completed one research project titled Socio-Economic Status of the Handloom Weavers in East Godavari district. He also completed 2 research projects titles Evolution of Service Quality in Secondary Education, a study of select schools with reference to South India, and assessment service quality in higher education in case of university in India. So currently he is working on ICR project. So beside 23 years of the teaching experience also. So he was also a British Council certified master trainer in communication skills. So I feel happy to inform you that Bhakta Kavi Narsi Mehta University may be the first university who started this series for the commerce, management, finance, banking, marketing, accounting, and general management topics. Today's topic, that is essential learning skills for commerce graduate. So now I welcome today's eminent expert, Professor N. Udaya Bhaskar sir. So deliver his expert speech topic of the that. Please, sir.
Thank you, sir. Hope my voice is clear and audible. And first of all, greetings from Adhikavi Nana University, Rajahmundry, Andhra Pradesh, and my heartfelt greetings and best wishes to Professor Dodiaji for providing and extending this opportunity. And also, I welcome and appreciate the scholars of the Bhakta Kavi University and the students of Bhakta Kavi University for joining, who are interested to join this program initially. And I do extend my heartfelt thanks to the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Bhakta Kavi University and other faculty members. Coming to this topic straight away, maybe the title of the topic says that it is essential learning skills for commerce graduate. So it is applicable for all graduates and all students, and it is also applicable for all kind of teachers also in general. So, but maybe the more emphasis I thought of giving on commerce students. But let us understand how the presentation should be, and let us understand how learning takes place and how it will happen in our life, and what kind of effect that is going to take place through effective learning and teaching methodologies. So that's what the topic will be there. I hope that it will be interesting to you rather than focusing on some subject content. So let us understand the philosophy and process of learning. So this is what my favorite quotation I always interested to show whenever I'm giving some lecture. It is the responsibility of a good teacher to make the audience attentive and to make the audience to think, analyze, and evaluate. So the quotation says like that: a good teacher makes you think even when you don't want to. So it is a common a good quotation I feel to be displayed in all my lectures. So the aims and objectives, I have only two objectives for this session. So one objective is to sensitize and discuss various learning and teaching methodologies, and to focus on continuing professional development. It depends on the time that is allotted to me. So as I told you in the beginning itself, so let us understand the process of learning. Let us understand how effectively we can teach, so that it should create some impact on the learning of the students or participants. It's not always students, so sometimes participants also there. Research scholars will be there. We do conduct faculty development workshops for faculty. So my point is only, uh, whenever you take a session, whenever you take a class, whenever you give a lecture, so what kind of impact that you are going to generate after your session, that makes a difference. So I have only two objectives for this session. So let us go into this aspect, and you are welcome if you ask some doubts, make it an interactive session. So I too very well familiar with the online sessions are really boring and always one-sided and one way. But I really encourage, if some students or some participants are interested to question, interested to raise their doubts, and interested to interact with me, so the deliberations will be fruitful to the entire house. So let us understand the learning methodologies. So we do have learning methodologies in a different style and setting. So I don't want to teach you the theoretical process, but I would like to maybe focus on the essence of learning theories. So basically, we have three theories are there. One is classical conditioning, another one is instrumental conditioning, and another one is social learning. So don't worry, don't get afraid that I'm going to teach all the theories. So how learning happens in human beings and how learning happens in animals. So my question is that, do animals learn? If they learn, how they will learn? That how human beings will learn, and what kind of process that we adopt. So these two questions may be answered by this classical conditioning, instrumental conditioning, and social learning. So classical conditioning is something like Ivan Pavlov. It was proposed. Suppose if you train a dog in such a way, if you throw a ball and give some incentive to a dog, then the dog will learn that to pick up the ball and give it to the owner. So periodical repetitions and reinforcement makes the dog to learn to behave in a particular manner. So that's what the classical conditioning says. That is also true in our childhood days, like when we are supposed to give some assignment, do it 5 times, do it 10 times. So when you doing all these things, so repetition and reinforcement takes place. So that's why you remember it for a longer time. So that's how the classical conditioning acts a role in that. Then we have instrumental conditioning will be there. Instrumental conditioning is something like, if you put a parrot in a cage, and the cage have two chambers, one at the ground floor, maybe another at the first floor, like that, two partitions kind of. You put a parrot and close one door and open the other door, and the parrot will struggle and strain to find a way out, to fly away from the cage. So it says that circumstances, obstacles, challenges mold you to behave in a particular manner. So that's what the instrumental conditioning will be there. You have tough circumstances and situations in your life, then your behavior is determined in a different manner. You have smooth conditions, or maybe your circumstances, environment is different, then obviously your behavior is also different. So that's how we see in a zoo, or maybe in an amusement park, the parrot goes through a lightning fire. But actually, parrots are afraid of fire. But if you train them in a proper manner, they do all these things. In circus also, you see the elephant, maybe some animals will do these kind of things. So these are all like what you create some circumstances and you offer some incentives, and obviously you get some kind of change in the behavior, change of the manner. So that's how the classical conditioning, instrumental conditioning goes like that. Then very easily to understand is like social learning. Social learning is like we learn through observation, we learn through interactions, and we learn from the society. So how to talk, how much to talk, what to discuss and what not to discuss. So through observation from our childhood to this time, this age, we learn in a continuous manner. So that's what we will call it as social learning. So my point here is like, so how you are learning and which is dominating in your learning, whether you are learning through observation, or whether you are learning by reinforcement and repetition, or whether you are learning because the circumstances were forced you to learn and behave in a particular manner. If circumstances and situations and challenges force you to behave in a particular manner, it comes under instrumental conditioning. If learning happens through repetition reinforcement, then it comes under classical conditioning. If you are imitating others and observing others and you are behaving in a particular manner, it comes under social learning. So social learning, like how you learn to sing, how you learn to dance, is all part and parcel of social learning. So just I would like to apply this learning theories into our daily life and all. So then how learners learn, the second point is also very very important. So we learn according to our interest and objectives. This is also very very important, appears to be very important. Why? If you are not interested towards anything, you don't remember it. If you are interested, then you will remember it. That's the part. Suppose money matters, we are very much interested, we are very much excited, so our memory goes long years. Suppose you have given money to somebody else and he's not returned it, then your memory is very hard, and you'll remember for many years. Why? Because it is money and your attachment is more to that. But when it comes to a subject matter, and where it is very difficult for you uh, to remember a three-line definition, or maybe it comes to the subject, it is also difficult for you to remember a 15 side headings or maybe a diagram. It all goes with the interest and objectives. Suppose if the objective of your learning, of your interest is multiplied, then obviously it will create a lifelong learning. So that is what my point. So whenever we are teaching, or whenever you are learning something, you should see that the interest is joined with it or not. I don't know whether I'm making bore or something like, but the philosophy of learning is something like, if learning you are interested to learn something, then obviously it is a permanent affair. If you are not interested to learn something, then it's a different story, and you are not psychologically connect to that particular aspect. Then we have learner differences also there. Suppose learning is not common, learning is not same across the people. Why? Because there are differences in the age, there are differences in the language, there are differences in the motivation to learn, there are differences in the past experience. So I thought yesterday is my lecture, and I given my message to Professor Dodiam, and I am ready and I'm waiting for the link. Uh, because I forgot that the lecture is scheduled today, and he told it's not yesterday and it is today. And so when your age is less than 20 years, then you are very much inquisitive to learn. So you are very much enthusiastic, you pay attention to learn. So when the age goes up, when the goal then maybe after 40 years, 45 years, or maybe after 50 years, so when you are growing, then obviously your learning curve become flat. That means your enthusiasm come down, or you are not interested to learn new things and all. So age plays a crucial role. Some are very active, some are very very highly enthusiastic, irrespective of their age. So they are exceptional, because of the interest part may dominate. So we have to understand whether interest dominates or age. So usually the tendency is like higher the age and lesser is the learning inquisitiveness. Then we have language, maybe the barrier to learn something. So now maybe Google translation came into the picture, you can learn easily. And if you learn anything, if you learn in your mother tongue, then that may be comfortable for you. If you learn something, a concept or maybe a theory in others language, so it may be a difficult part. And so past learning experience is also plays a crucial role in making a learning difference. Suppose if I'm teaching the same thing and you are also attended the same lecture earlier, so it may not create some motivation. So it is like you are already watched a movie, the same movie, I'm repeating, that you may not get that particular excitement. So if you are already having some experience beyond that particular experience, beyond the expectations, if you able to provide something, then people will learn. Otherwise, they already filled up some kind of information and data, and they may not show interest to that. Suppose you are teaching a concept called break-even point, maybe in the degree level, and you are teaching the same in the PG level. So the same break-even point, how you taught at degree level and how you are going to deal at the PG level, there should be some difference. Otherwise, you are teaching the same concept, same input, degree and PG both are same. Then it won't create much enthusiasm and difference in the learning. I think you are following the part. So my point is very simple and clear and straight. So how people are learning. So learning happens all the time, and learning is continuous. And once you learn, it is permanent. So that's what the theory says, either classical conditioning or instrumental conditioning or social learning. So we learn according to our interest and objectives. So higher the interest towards anything, then higher will be the involvement and participation towards learning. Suppose many of the participants or few of the participants are not interested for this webinar or maybe this lecture, so they may not psychologically connect. They switch on the mobiles and they may not pay their attention to it. So it depends upon their interest, it depends upon their objective of participation, and it is very common in that. So it is my responsibility to create interest. It is my responsibility to instill enthusiasm so that they will uh, enthusiastically participate in this. So I already discussed that learning is not common, learning is not same across the people. So learning differs based on age, based on language, based on motivation, based on past experience. So lesser the age, higher is the inquisitiveness. Higher the age, lesser is the inquisitiveness. So that's what we can understand. Then we have the learning styles are also there. Learning styles is something like we have uh, what do you mean by styles of learning means. So everybody has their own unique way of learning. So basically learning styles are three. One is auditory learners, second one is the visual learners, and third one is kinesthetic learners. Auditory learners are those learners, they will learn through watching videos and observing. Sorry, auditory learners are those learners, they learn through listening and listening videos and all. So visual learners are those learners, so they watch and observation, they learn something. Kinesthetic learners are those learners, they learn by implementing things or through practice. So auditory, the word itself says that if you are interested to listen and through listening you are learning something, then we will say it is auditory. Then visual learning is like I can demonstrate and show a video, show a picture, and if it is contribute for the learning, then it comes under the visual learning. Then kinesthetic learning is something like practically you are doing something and you are learning, then will come under the kinesthetic learning. So let me give an example at this junction how this styles of learning impacts the learning process. So I want to maybe educate you how a train will look like. Then I explain about the train, maybe how it will be like, the size of the train, then maybe the coaches, and the train consists of a pilot, loco pilot, or maybe the guard or something like. So this is what it creates some kind of auditory impression about the train. Otherwise, visual learner is something like I can show the picture of a train. So the train engine is like this, compartments are like this, coaches are like this, and the guard is there, and a pilot is there like that, and it creates a different perception on the line, on the learning. The kinesthetic learning is something like if I take you to the railway station, really, virtually, or maybe physically, then I can experience you coming, the train coming and leaving the station. Then it has a different effect. So some are auditory dominated learners are there. It is nothing wrong that auditory learning is weak or kinesthetic learning is strong. But some skills, auditory learning is suitable. For some skills, visual learning is suitable. For some skills, a combination of auditory and visual learning is suitable. And for some skills, kinesthetic learning is suitable. Suppose if you want to teach swimming, then obviously you have to go for kinesthetic learning. Suppose I want to teach the accounting errors, or maybe a funds flow statement or cash flow statement, then we have to go for kinesthetic learning only. I have to give a balance sheet to you, and I have to show how you have to identify the various funds, sources of funds, and then how you have to practically prepare the statement, and how you have to practically analyze the statement. So this comes under the kinesthetics. If I keep on lecturing about the importance of funds flow statement, cash flow statement, then you may not get anything. So later we will apply all these concepts to the commerce part, and also let me explain how learning takes place. So we have different styles of learning, and everybody has their own unique way of learning. But if you are weak at a particular part, your portion has to be changed. Like your auditory learning dominates the visual learning and kinesthetic learning. It is your responsibility to minimize your auditory learning and increase your visual and kinesthetic learning. So that's why, as the NEP suggests the internship programs, maybe the other practical sessions and all. Suppose I am dominated, I am good at theory and not good at practicals. So that means you are good at auditory and visual but not sure about the kinesthetic learning. So you try to reduce your auditory learning and visual learning and be good at the kinesthetic learning. So it is also a pity to say that who are who are who are first class in the PG MCOM, and after at the time of Viva, if we ask what is a day book and what is a ledger, if I show them two books, and the two books, one is ledger and one is day book, and they're unable to identify which is a day book and which is a ledger. If I ask them to draw the pro forma of day book and pro forma of ledger, they're very happily to draw, but it's something is missing. So that's why styles of learning also plays a crucial role. So we do a bank reconciliation statement and all. Then after some time, we cannot do that. So this also plays a crucial role, uh, understanding about your styles of learning, and then you have to make a different proportion which exactly fit to your purpose. Then planning for a lecture, so this may not be applicable for the students, but if you are a teacher, or maybe if you are a research scholar, then you should understand to whom you are teaching, and who are the strong students and who are the weak students, and what kind of challenges you may face uh, every class you take. So before I'm going to take this class, I should understand to whom I'm teaching, whether I'm teaching to the teachers, then my level of teaching should be different. If I'm teaching the students, my level of teaching should be different. If I'm teaching to the research scholars, my level of teaching, I have to adjust. It doesn't mean that whatever the greatness you have, it is very important that whatever you are going to convey, whether it is properly conveyed it or not. So that is what more important. So just this is all about the philosophy of learning. So let us move on to the other slide. So my slides are also very less, so don't worry, and you can stop me at any point of time, and you can interact with me. So generally, The conventional method of teaching is like we teach more that student will enjoy because they don't want to do anything. So if you teach more, then the students will become teacher dependent. So I'm not against to the teachers who are teaching more. So it is like that. You should facilitate them to understand the concept, and you should facilitate them to do some exercises in the teaching, so that they some learning happens with them, and that particular learning will be permanent. So whatever you teach, it doesn't matter. Suppose you are teaching the ratio analysis to them. So you give them a balance sheet, or you give them some values, and ask them to conduct some ratios of your choice and analyze the profitability of a firm. Don't tell them do the profitability ratios. Don't tell them do the turnover ratios. Don't tell them to do the leverage ratios, and give the balance sheet, profit and loss account of a particular company last year, this year, and ask them what could be the changes in the company and how the company is going to enjoy the profits next year and fit some trend line and all. So they select the ratios of their choice and they do. So the next point also, it is also very important. If I listen more, I will forget. If I see, I will believe. If I do, I will understand. So the modern teacher should facilitate more of homework, more of exercises to the students, in contrast to the more of teaching. So now what we're doing is like we're giving more concepts, more knowledge, important questions, or maybe the PDF materials. All these things makes the students dependent on the teacher. If the teacher won't provide anything, so student feel not happy because they're not using their ideas. They're not using their version of understanding the topic, rather than they're simply imitating, they're simply following the ideology of the teacher. So it's not always correct. You give some unsolved problems to the students where there is no solution at all. So students will come up, sir, this problem is wrong and there is no solution for it. But what we will do is contract, we will solve the problem on the board, and we will also give the same problem in the mid examination. And more probably by changing some values, we will also give the same problem to the end examinations also. Then student will never understand why the problem has been given, and for what you are solving that particular problem. So teachers should facilitate the students to the maximum possible and involve them in understanding the concept rather than understanding the content. So this is what I thought of uh, communicating, conveying from this slide. This is also maybe most of the teachers or most of the research scholars may be familiar with, but some students may not be. This is Bloom's taxonomy. Whenever you are preparing some question paper, so people will adopt. So this also has some huge applications and implications about our thinking process and understanding process. So our understanding goes from remembering to creating. So remembering is the lowest part of understanding. Creating is the highest part of understanding. So where is your level of knowledge? Suppose a topic has been delivered and you are simply by-hearting the topic and you are reproducing in the end examinations, then you are at the lower level. What you are doing is you are by-hearting a particular topic, you are remembering some side headings, and you are reproducing them in the end semester examinations. That's recalling the information. That is the lowest level of learning. I'm not saying that it is worst, it is the lowest. Suppose if you are understand a particular topic, then there is no need of remembering. Please understand. If you understood some topic, then there is no need of remembering. So no need of remembering because you are 100% confident about it. So no need of by-hearting. So by-hearting will go away if you understand. So it is the responsibility of the teacher as well as the learner. Suppose a concept is taken by a teacher and it is a difficult concept like critical path method or maybe some kind of operations research problems or something like that, and you miss at some point and you hesitate to ask the teacher, sir, I didn't understand, then that's the issue. So if you raise your hand and you say to the teacher that I didn't understand, teacher will come back and explain the same point so that understanding will happen. Then there is no need of by hearting a formula or by hearting some kind of diagram and all. So understanding comes next. After understanding, if you make the students to apply the knowledge, then applying takes place. And after applying, then you ask them to analyze You give 2 3 options and analyze them, which is good and which is bad. Then that is comes under the analysis. Then you are going for evaluation. Evaluation is something like critically analyzing and taking a decision whether it is good or bad, or criticizing or judging or experimenting. These are all comes under evaluation. And the last one is creating. So you yourself can create a new knowledge, a new theory, and a new philosophy. So let me explain this one more time. Like, at what level we are? Are we remembering? That means just you by heart a particular topic and you reproduce. It's simple. You'll get 80% marks. But if you don't understand a topic, you will forget it, maybe after the examinations. But if you understand a particular topic, then there is no point of remembering it. So understanding is a long way compared to remember. If we apply a particular topic, there is no need of understanding. So that's why a trained mechanic is better than a qualified engineer. A trained mechanic is better than a qualified engineer. Though you have an engineering degree and you don't know how to repair a bike, then it's a different case. You are able to repair a bike means you are already evaluating the bike and which is good and which is bad, and for you, no degree is not required. So most of the accountants in this world, they don't have the BCom degree. You believe me. And most of the businessmen in this world, they don't acquire the MBA degree. Uh, they already have that particular skills and all. So it is the responsibility of the teacher elevate the student from remembering to understanding, and understanding to applying, and applying to analyzing, and analyzing to evaluating, and from evaluating to creating. So this is the ladder of higher order thinking. So you have to closely monitor the student, or you have to closely monitor them, how they are how they are practicing, by asking questions, by checking whether they're following it or not, and slowly elevate to the extent possible. It doesn't mean that everybody will move on to the ladder, and somebody they are not interested. I told you in the first slide itself, they are not at all interested. Their objective of joining into a particular course is different, and you cannot motivate them. But still, you have to put your effort. So this is the another important simple but yet very important reflective teaching practices. Actually, there is no reflective learning, but I would like to add reflective learning also. This is applicable for teaching. So whenever you are taking a class, or supposed to take a class, you should understand what kind of reflection you are going to make on the audience. So every class, you should be very very inquisitive, how best you can give to the audience. So but theoretically, all the teachers say we are the good, we are the best, we are better than anyone else. But when it comes to the practice, it is like that nobody will check. So people will keep on leveraging on the old notes, or maybe leveraging on the very ancient examples, and they don't update. So what is meant by reflective teaching is something like, you please read the second paragraph. Reflective teaching involves asking questions about the teaching practices, exchanging experiences with colleagues, finding out and trying different approaches and new methods to teach. Suppose how many teachers will discuss how they are teaching with other teachers? How many teachers will discuss their experiences? How many teachers will share their knowledge with other teachers? So this should be a common. So let us change it into the learning. Suppose if you are a student, it is not always to learn from the teacher. So teacher will provide you 60%, 70%. That's it. I told you social learning. You can learn from your friends, so that may be 10%. You can learn from the library books, that may be another 10%. You can learn from the YouTube or maybe other online channels, that may be 10%. And have your own unique learning. So teacher may be 50%, other sources may be 50%. Then it should be the concrete of 100%. And if you are not confident about your learning and you have some doubt, please change the method of learning, or the person to whom, or maybe the textbook, or maybe the source. That's how. The point is that the theory says that everybody will learn, everybody can learn, including animals. You can train an elephant how to stand, how to sit. That you see in the circus. That's how the instrumental conditioning focuses upon. You can learn, believe in that. And then the method of the learning may be different, so please change the method of the learning. If the source is not correct, please change the source. If the teacher is not correct, please change the teacher. If your learning style is not correct, please change your learning style. But learning happens, so that's what a reflection happened, and it is also applicable for teachers learning also. So you have to write a reflective log, maybe at the end of the semester or maybe at the end of the topic. So which class you attended and what were the important points out of the class. So maybe every day, if you ask every day, it maybe you feel that it is difficult to write the reflective log. Maybe at the end of the semester or maybe end of the week, so what was the best class you experienced, and who is the best teacher taught what topic, and what went well in the class, and what is the worst class in terms of teaching learning, and why it is worst, or you are not participated, or the teacher is not prepared, and you just write some reflective log. Your mood is not good, and so that you could not participate in the class, or your health is not good, or you're late to the class. So let it write something like why you are unable to follow a particular topic. You please ask yourself why some subject becomes difficult for you. People will claim that mathematics is difficult, but really it is not. Mathematics is not difficult subject. Mathematics is a subject, engineering is a subject, science is a subject. So some students, they change their profession, or they change their degree because of fear towards the subject, but these are all not correct. So if mathematics is difficult, the learning method or the teaching method for that subject may be difficult. So you have to try and test new methods, new means, so that your learning towards mathematics may change. I am also one such example. So I'm afraid of mathematics in my degree level, and I have chosen BBA and I have did my MBA, and now I am like this. So when I'm teaching like these kind of sessions, I came to know that learning is common and all subject of equal weightage. If you are interested towards mathematics, mathematics appears easy. If you are not interested towards mathematics, mathematics will become strong, and maybe it's a difficult subject. So this is what I thought of discussing. So Dodhya sir, how much time I have? Uh, uh,
Sir, 10 minutes residual.
Okay, okay. So I'll skip to this. Maybe the another important aspect I thought of discussing. So let us focus on this also. Like we have few modern teaching learning techniques are also there. So it is not always the classroom classroom mode. So Dodhya ji is at Gujarat and I am at Andhra Pradesh, and now the technology is able to link us all. So we are now working together in group work, but now it is more of pair work. So being a student, you should understand, so to whom you can able to mingle more. So make friendships with a suitable candidate and discuss your ideas, your understandings with them. If the correction takes place from a friend, you will accept it, and you hesitate to ask a doubt in the class because the teacher may annoy you or something like. But among the friends, you are free and you can freely ask the doubts and questions. So get clarifications, get more insights of the topic through friends. So that is what more of paid work. Then you can go for PDCA. So PDCA is like plan it, do it, check it, and act it. So every time you do it, and you take some small activities. So whatever the topic in commerce and management that you're doing, so give some activities to that. So in our department, we prepare some contingency, and then let the students prepare the statement of expenditure for the contingency. And you are in the hostel, so let us say let the students prepare the hostel expenditure, and maybe per day how much it will be. Give some activities will be there. Then ICQs is like instruction checking questions. and CCQs are concept content checking questions. So I don't know whether I can ask questions here or not. Suppose you are delivering a topic, but you believe that you are good at on your part, but you don't know whether the students are understanding exactly according to your intention. So please keep on asking the questions. So generally we have this TTT is more teacher talk time, teacher talk time and student talk time. TTT is means teacher talk time. STT means student talk time. So generally, teacher talk time dominates than the student talk time. So in a period of 60 minutes, teacher should talk 40 minutes and the student should talk 20 minutes. So it is maybe it depends upon the teacher, student and all. So the more time you take, the less they learn. The more time you give to the students, then they will learn better. So student talk time in every class is very important according to the recent case. So always understand what's new, so what, why so, why now, whether it is done well or whether it is well done, and who cares about your learning and all. So why you joined in this particular MCOM course, why you joined in MBA course, why you joined in PhD and for what purpose, to whom you would like to impress. So you ask yourself and you get the answers so that you will get better clarity of what you are doing. Okay, I thought of this explaining this. I'll close this maybe with the permission of Dodiaji. I'll take 2 more minutes. Continuing professional development is common for teachers, scholars, and everybody. So it is like development should be continuous. Development should be should improve, enhance our knowledge, skills, whatever the activity, whatever the profession that we're doing. So how it will happen? So it is only 6 steps. So step one is create your own professional profile, what you want to become. Simply write it somewhere. Set goals. What is required? You require these skills, you require these knowledge, you require this strength. I want to become a GST practitioner. So that may be my step one. I don't know anything about GST. So what is required is you just get the knowledge, skills about the GST and what is meant by GST and how the GST taxation will go. Like that. Equip yourself. Suppose I want to become a chartered accountant. Good. What is required to become a chartered accountant? You what skills are required? You analyze yourself. Step three is like evaluate, like how best you can get that particular information, like investigate different tools and techniques and methods for achieving in your goals. Suppose you want to become a GST practitioner and you purchased a particular book and which is not at all relevant. It is half. It is only having half information. So the book is the problem. So that it is obstructing your goal and your objective. So change the book, change the institution, or change the teacher. So evaluate every time whether you are going in the right direction, whether you are going, whether you are along with the right materials and right resources, whether you are along with the right company or not. Then step four is like reflect every day or every week or every month. Reflect yourself, what you did it and how you did it. So this is where very very important, how you did it and what you did it, uh, what you are supposed to do it. So what you are supposed to do it and what you did it and how you did it. I think you hope understand this. Reflection improves your confidence. Reflection identifies your errors, and self-correcting is the best mechanism in this world to prove yourself and to develop yourself. So always reflect on it. Then we have insert materials. Suppose, as I told you, that you want to become a GST practitioner. You say that you are a GST practitioner, nobody will believe it. So get it certified. Whatever this certification should be there, training should be there. So authorizations are very very important. You may be very good at accounting, but you don't have a CA qualification. So your signature won't have any value. So, so certifications and trainings are more important to prove yourself. So that is what step six is review, manage deadlines so as to achieve your goals, monitor your progress. So let us come back to this. Once again, create your own professional profile according to your case. And I'll stop this, maybe showing one more important slide. Uh, I thought of showing. Okay. Okay, I will tell that, don't worry. So everything is relative in this world. let it be knowledge, let it be money, let it be intelligence, let it be age. Some are always ahead of you, some are always behind you. It doesn't matter, no need to be afraid. Intelligence you take, some are always intelligent than you, some are not than you. So it is where you are that is more important. If you understand where you are, then obviously you can put your effort to progress. So that is what I thought of sharing. So don't worry about anyone. Don't compare. And comparison doesn't have any meaning because we are living in a relative world. I have 100 crores, somebody may have 101 crores, and somebody may be having 10,000. So it's only relative. So this is what I thought. I don't know whether I conveyed and I met the expectations of Dodhya ji and Varma sir and other colleagues, and I'm open to questions, maybe 2-3 minutes to the extent possible. Thank you, sir, for providing this wonderful opportunity to associate with you. Any questions? I'm ready to answer. If you have any doubts, clarifications, to the extent of possible, I'll try to answer.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, sir, your voice is you're not. You have to unmute yourself, sir. Dodhya, sir.
Hello.
Sir,
Yes.
it
Yes,
is
sir.
not.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Giving such a very important knowledge about learning skill for the commerce bachelor and about leadership skill also.
Shall I close, sir? Shall I close? Okay, Professor Bhavinash ji and the members of Bhakta Kavi University, Gujarat. I express my heartfelt thanks to all the
Sir,
members.
thank you very much. Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir. Thank you,
Hello.
sir. Good day. We'll meet again. Varma, sir, good day. All the best. You can take the feedback, sir. If it is possible, please communicate to me. If anything, I need to improve. Is it okay, sir? Shall I close?